Are you considering living in Niceville and curious about the things that you should know about this area? Well, here in this video, here at the beginning of 2024, we're gonna go through some things that you'll need to know as we're here in the main park over here in Niceville. And what we're gonna be doing is going over the housing situation, schools, traffic, location, neighborhoods, the community, cost of living, and much more, so stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore here in the beautiful Destin-Fort, Walton Beach area. As you can probably hear the air traffic above me, we are right outside of Niceville, just walking through the main park here. If this is your first time to our channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about our area. Now, as a military veteran of 14 years and now military spouse, I've moved so many places. And one thing I noticed that we didn't have was all information where we moved to. So we came up with this channel for you, so make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every single time we got a new video coming out. Now, if you are moving here, got some questions, need some help, give us a call, text, email, heck, shoot us a little paper airplane. Whatever you need to do, we got your back when moving here to Niceville or the Destin-Fort, Walton Beach, or here on the Emerald Coast area. All right, so let's get into it. What do we got here? Well, in Niceville, what do we have for homes? Well, if you've gone through and maybe you've been looking online, looking at realtor.com, homes, or Zillow, you've probably seen that some of the homes here, well, they're a little bit older. Some are brand new. We do have brand new communities out here, but it really has established communities is what I'm gonna really go with. So with that being said, a lot of these homes, they could be a little bit dated, but a lot of them are actually updated as well, just to kind of keep up with the time. Our single family homes, on average, what do you see through here with our new constructions and everything, we're looking at around $495,950. Yeah, I went specific. I went down to the 50 mark. That is the, well, median home price here in the Niceville area. Now, that goes all the way up to about 2.2 mil, which is a beautiful thing sitting on the water here, all right? And then we also have a low that we've seen all the way down to 105,000. Now, it's probably gonna be a rehab price. Maybe you can find something that's like a small studio or something like that, but that's what you're gonna be looking for in those prices. Now, we do have, like I mentioned before, brand new communities where the average price point's gonna be searching a little bit north of about 600,000 to 700,000. However, your resales, we're gonna be looking around that 450, 460 mark. So if you're coming here and you want some access for your kiddos to have a great education, the schools here are probably some of the best in all of the Northwest Florida area. Now, the schools here, schools are rated in A, right? The senior high school here in Niceville is a lot of the times why people move here. It is actually ranked 49th in Florida, all the state of Florida. That includes the Miami area. Now, that's ranked 886 nationally, which, given the amount of schools, that's pretty darn good. Now, it is rated 19th in the state of Florida for athletics, and it is one of the most community-centric schools when it comes for the kids going into their athletic programs. So let's kind of talk about the traffic and location. We've probably heard the traffic behind me as we were going through the main park here. It's kind of nice for the traffic. Now, normally, if you watch a lot of my videos, man, I complain about the traffic all the time, and it's for good reason, all right? But the nice part about Niceville is that the traffic here isn't all that bad. Now, we have Route 20 is what you were hearing behind me. The nice part about that is most of the time, people transiting to the Destin-Fort, Walton Beach area don't use Route 20. So most of that is gonna be local traffic that you're gonna be competing with in and out of the main thoroughfare of Niceville. Now, it's also really nice because you have access to the Eglin Air Force installation if that's a place that you're going to work or be associated with. It's also really nice because you have access to the Mid-Bay Bridge, right? And that Mid-Bay Bridge is also going to give you access right into Destin, right into the part where all the shops and things are. You have the Destin Commons that are right there. It really helps. Now, it is a toll bridge. I think it's $3.50 or $4 every single time you got to go over that darn thing, but it is still nice to be there and be in a short drive of pretty much anything. And I say short drive, and that's really going to depend upon where you're from. I'm going to say that you're about 20 to 30 minutes away from pretty much everywhere you want to go. So if you have a community that you're trying to join here in Niceville, and your local community is mostly in Niceville, you're going to be fine. If most of your friends are hanging out in Fort Walton or up in Crestview or something, it's going to be a bit of your drive to get back and forth. But let's talk about neighborhoods. There are a lot of great neighborhoods. I could list them all off for you, but what are the most popular that we've been seeing? Some of the most popular neighborhoods that we have put in over the years is Blue Water Bay. Now, Blue Water Bay is more on the eastern side of Niceville towards Freeport, towards that Mid-Bay Bridge, but people really like it due to the amenities and everything else you get there, and it really just has this community feel to it. It really does. And I think that's what brings people in. You see people on golf carts, people walking their dogs. Really, really nice community for people to go to. The next is the newer communities that we've seen, and the one I want to feature here is Deer Moss Creek. Now, there are 11 different phases that they built out. I believe they're on like 2 or 3 of them so far, but newer communities with a lot of different amenities, and they have some cool things like you're seeing behind me. You know, like this cool little walk trail that we're on that's elevated over the water. They're going to be doing a lot of those on that creek itself, and there's a lot of new developments that we're going to see over the years, driving prices up, of course, which helps with that resale value. So if you got the money and you're looking for that new community feel, that's the way to go. Another place to look out to is like Swift Creek and Rocky Bayou. It's a more established community. It really has a affluent feel to it as well, and you'll see a lot of these homes have been redone over the years, and you'll see that same sort of feel throughout that you have in traditional Niceville. And there's no other way for me to really describe that other than what I just did for you, but some really nice areas to go in that area. Plus, you're going to have access to the satellite campus for Northwest Florida, so if you've got kids in college or you're looking to go to college yourself, you do have access right there all through those different communities, being right on the spot. Now, next part is the safeness of this community. I tried to look up stats. I've been trying to do it over the years, and quite honestly, it's hard to find. Why? Because it's some of the most safe neighborhoods you're going to find around here. What are you going to find here? Well, if you look it up, you may find petty crimes, you may find property crimes, things like that. But that's most of the stuff that you find in more of a tourist town, tourist area. However, Niceville still isn't much of a tourist area anyway. It's more of the family-oriented people that you see that typically move to this area. But long story being long, it's a safe area. All right, now cost of living. Cost of living here is actually pretty good in reference to the national average. However, due to the housing costs that we have here, it is a little bit higher, right? We're gonna see overall is about 8% above the national average. And how they typically figure this out is that they'll take a scale up to 100, where 100 is the national average, right? And they do different things like how much are groceries, what is transportation cost, and everything else in between. And they have it in 6 different categories. And the reason that ours is typically higher is the main point, which is the housing. The housing drives this thing up. But only 8% above, which really isn't bad. If you're coming from California, coming from New York like myself, there's a good possibility that's going to be much, much cheaper for you. Now, one thing I'll note is there's not a whole lot of restaurants here in this area. It's kind of isolated. Realistically, if you look on a map, and that's due to Eglin Air Force Base being there and everything else, kind of separates the communities out. There are some good restaurants here. I still come up here. There's also a place, a brewery that has come out here called Third Planet, and they've really made like this outdoor oasis for you to go hang out with. They have food trucks that come in. They've got like this AstroTurf down. You can bring your kids, bring your pets along. They have live music. Really cool atmosphere that really kind of encompasses the community. Not only that, but if you're here during the sports seasons for the kids, it's really a Friday Night Lights sort of atmosphere when it comes to football season, like I mentioned before. The community really, really comes together when it comes to their local events. And we've seen the infrastructure really build out as well, as new stores and different boutiques have kind of really popped up throughout here. So if you're looking for something, it may not be obvious, but it is here. It is here for you to go out to. It's kind of like a little well-kept secret here in the Niceville area. A lot of the homes that you're going to be looking for, because of Blue Water Bay that's behind me here, you're going to have a lot of deep water around these areas too. So if you like to boat, that's something that you can definitely look forward to. And there's, again, just a really good community feel. The reason behind that is just because we're so close to the base. There's 4 military installations around here, and we really get a good mix of different type of people that tend to live in these communities. So we'll have retired vets, retired military people like myself. You'll have active duty, and you'll have also those people that are associated with the base. We have the people that work for all the vacationers that are throughout this area. And of course, we've got the tourist traffic that does come through. Again, it's not a huge part here, but it certainly does exist as you go through. But because of that, it does bring a lot of wealth throughout the area, good amount of traffic. It's really, really something to consider when moving out to the area. That's all I have for you for life in Niceville, Florida. Hopefully that gave you some good ideas, whether you want to move here or some other area here. If you have any questions about anything that I said during today's video, go ahead and leave them here in the questions below. If you are one of our audio listeners, wait until the end here. We've got a number you can reach out to us, give us a call or text. I love to hear from you guys as well. And of course, if you are moving here, got some questions, need some help, hit myself, hit my team up here. We love to help you. Give us a call, text, email, whatever you got to do. We got your back here when moving to Niceville or when moving anywhere here on the Emerald Coast. My name's Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group, and we'll see you in our next video. Take care.